Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So recently Ubisoft America released a gameplay footage of Watchdog Legion. The game looks awesome. As a combat gunplay, all the things are pretty smooth. The link of the full gameplay is in the description.
uh,
Enjoy the
a
video.
Well,
little
so right there at the end, you saw all the people I
Yeah.
fought, and I can choose to add any of them to my my sort of potential list of recruits. And so I added one, but then in the meantime, I switched over to one of my infiltrator operatives here, who you could see can cloak,
Nice.
because I was actually working on recruiting one of those boxers.
Cool.
the cloak
Yeah,
is
that's
so
li-
slick.
Like I say, going to those bare knuckle arenas and finding like the best people and recruiting them to become your kind of key melee guys. That's like one of the first things I do whenever I start a new game is head out to the Nine Elms arena because I like the boss that's there. She's pretty awesome.
Well,
Yeah, I think that's actually one
is
of
that
the,
what we're gonna see later?
Yeah, I think that's actually the one we'll see later as well.
Oh, awesome! She's one of my favorite fighters in the whole game. She's great.
We got a few questions in chat I want to address a little bit now. Folks asking what platform this was on. This was captured on PC via a remote play session. That's how one of the ways that Ubisoft is helping folks get their hands on games ahead of time to preview them. So it wasn't just us, it was other content creators who will be releasing stuff today. So you'll be able to check out a whole bunch of Legion gameplay here and elsewhere. We are not playing co-op right now. That's going to be coming later on in the post-launch support for Watch Dogs Legion, so we'll be talking about that a little later down the line. All right.
Well said, Chris.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Where are we at?
So we found Hadrian now, who's
There he is.
our boxer recruit. He changed outfits.
Yeah. So everybody has their different clothing. Like when he's a bare knuckle fighter, he wears his bare knuckle fighting stuff. But when he's out, walking around the city, he wears his civilian clothes. If he happens to have a job as a groundskeeper or a policeman, then he'll be in uniform when he's at his job. Everybody in the world has their own schedule, and they all live their lives according to their schedule. So if you recruit him, you'll get all of his uniforms as well. So if he's a police officer, bare knuckle fighter who likes to go jogging in the park, he might have all different sets of clothing that you can swap him into, as well as customize him.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So we didn't show it here in full disclosure. I actually got beat up in one of the bare knuckle boxing fights, and so my operative that my barrister that was in all gold that you saw there was sent to the hospital, and I could have recruited a paramedic and gotten him out of the hospital, but I also thought, hey, why not take a look at some of the opponents I've defeated in the past, some of these people who have really good boxing melee stats, and see if I can't use one of them. And so that's why I decided to recruit Hadrian. And so here I'm now doing him a favor. I'm obtaining a file for him that I believe was his
Gangsters blackmailing him or something, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you jump into what's super cool is like I got kind of obsessed with the deep profiler. So
Yeah.
like when any single person in the game, like you can jump in and view their deep profile and view their schedule, view like what's wrong with their life, what's going on, who their family connections are, and those feed into their recruitment missions.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of the characters, we got a question from Half Peeps asking, are all the characters the same for all players, or is it random for the game you're playing?
So everybody's different for all players. Although we were talking about the bare knuckle bosses a minute ago. So as you go through the bare knuckle arenas, the bosses in each of the arenas, they're not the same. They all have different names and different jobs and different backstories, but they have the same set of abilities. Each of the bosses, so that we could guarantee that there's like a climactic, boss fight at the end of each of those arenas, so that you can win it with a good fight. But you can still recruit those bosses. But again, they have different names, different character models. Like they look different, sound different, different family, different backstory. So even if you have the same abilities on a character, it'll be unique in your game from someone else's.
Here we see Yusuf has recruited an
Very
ace
good
driver.
Great driving, yeah.
I gotta say, Clay, even in a video game, it feels so weird to drive on the left side of the road.
Yeah, it is.
That
weird.
that took me
weird.
so long.
I mean, I've been playing this game for 5 years, and I still get in head-on collisions because I'm driving on the wrong side of it.
The question is, though, does it backwash into your normal life? Like when you get into the car and pull out onto the road, do you have to like tell your brain, right side of the road?
Little known fact about me is that I don't even have a driver's license.
Oh,
Never
man.
had a driver's license. I'm a weird anomaly.
He doesn't drive.
No, I don't drive, except in video games,
Video
where I
game
drive
driving
exclusively on the wrong side of the road.
Well, good thing this man is not licensed, folks.
I'm kind of jealous, honestly.
Iron Legion asking, can we visit the Big Ben? We got you covered. We'll have some Big Ben a little bit later in the thing. Yeah, wrong side, guys, Kiter. You are definitely right. And again, folks, if you're seeing, you'll see some like little wipes as we change scenes occasionally. That's just because we're doing like a footage review here. This is gameplay we previously captured on a PC through a remote play session, and so we're just going through now and kind of checking out some highlights and talking with Clint Hawking, creative director of Watch Dogs Legion. Yeah, I definitely found that like, you know, I really like getting into a Watch Dogs game and driving from place to place just because it starts to like piece together my idea of what the city is like, what landmarks am I gonna come up on, and also how do I navigate the big roundabouts, which can be a little tricky when you're just zooming along at high speeds.
You're actually getting to the very southern tip of the map here. This is Windrush Square in Brixton, so a very famous square in the southern portion of our game world. Huge wave of immigration from the Caribbean and Jamaica that came into this part of London in the middle of the 20th century and sort of established a really strong and vibrant Caribbean community here in Jamaica and in Brixton. And this is what we've tried to recreate here is some of the feel of what's going on in this part of our world. Looks really great.
Yeah, so when people are going into these neighborhoods, you know, obviously we'll be seeing stuff like holographic blue scorpions that are sort of to imagine the near future vision of Watch Dogs Legion. But you know, a lot of the landmarks, the feel, the fire hydrants, and the kind of people you see in each neighborhood, that's all drawn from your inspiration of studying London.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just the neighborhood, but like the people in the neighborhoods are gonna, have certain demographics and certain kinds of jobs and, certain income levels. So we did a massive amount of research into, open source like census data from the British government and, really studied the demographic and ethnic and economic makeup of each of the major boroughs that we've represented in the game. So it's as accurate as we could make it, given the constraints of making a video game. So we've really worked hard on getting an authentic feel to the city.
Did you ever feel like, as you're looking at this census data and stuff, doing this kind of demographic profiling, like you're being a little like Watch Dogsy yourself in terms of the data you're using to create the game?
A little bit. You have to make the game to understand the game and understand the game to make it. I guess it's definitely a lot of information at our fingertips now.
Totally.
To be able to do this.
Sorry to interrupt you, Clint, but I paused it here, folks. It's not a gameplay issue. I paused because I wanted to just take a look at what this screen looks like when you've got an operative. You just recruited Hadrian Hair Yusuf, and you can see this dude has won a strongman competition, so he's got a lot of melee-related attributes.
Yeah, Shockwave strikes, staggers enemies, takes less melee damage, and has stronger counters. And so he just seemed like the perfect bare knuckle boxer. Yeah, and I saw a question too about asking about what type of weapons there are. So you can see in the bottom right there that he has 2 non-lethal shock weapons. And in my experience, most of the operatives had at least 1 shock weapon. Some even had a different sort of specialized weapon. Like the person with the bowler hat I was playing with before had a paintball gun that they were using. I know construction workers, have nail guns, things like that. So there's a lot of different specialized weapons.
Oh, yes. I'm ready, willing, and able to
Yeah,
serve.
speaking of character customizations, Z-Flip a little bit ago asked, are there hair customizations?
So we don't do hair customization in the game right now. So everyone that you see comes with their existing haircut, and customizations is clothing and uniforms and costumes right there for now.
Excellent. And another person was asking about Ubisoft Easter eggs in the game. My knowledge is not comprehensive by any stretch, but I will tell you one thing that didn't make it into this cut was I did at one point hack a rooftop relay, and then it was right by a canal, and there was like an open area. I was able to jump off, and it did like a little Assassin's Creed leap of faith.
There you go.
So keep an eye out for that one. All right, Yusuf, what's going down here?
All right, so I'm in my final bare knuckle boxing tournament. I'm going up against Renee Randall here. And you can see bare knuckle fighter, and then never fights without a cluster of smoke bombs. And so you know that like there was going to be some shenanigans that came up in this fight.
Yep, she cheats. I love this is seriously one of my favorite fighters in the whole game.
But I was feeling confident. I had recruited Hadrian at this point. He's quite the
He's
fighter.
also a champion, right?
Yeah.
This is a showdown here. Recruit a champion to fight a champion. Are you going to win this one, or are you going to get your butt kicked?
Oh, I think we'll find out.
There's a shot.
Put something in. We wouldn't include this if I got my butt kicked. Yeah.
We're trying to make ourselves look good here, Clint. I mean, you were trying to show off your game too, but really.
Now you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble.
Who's organizing this fight? What kind of rules are in place here?
Right. I'm saying.
Fucking done with you, bruv.
Oh, bruv. Yeah, Clint, what's the instance of UK slang use in the office? Has it increased, or do you try not to adopt it too much? What's your stance?
I think we try not to, because there's a lot of British people on the team, and they call us out when we start pulling out the big bad British accents. So out of respect for our British co-workers, we don't pretend to talk like Northerners. Oh, you demolished her. Oh,
I
man.
mean, Hadrian was just the right man for the job.
It's true. He did extra damage, so he's pretty tough.
Yeah, you saw those shock waves coming out. That was from that ability we saw in his little character breakdown earlier. But a little bit of like good sportsmanship here.
So guys, let me know your thoughts about the gameplay in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.